What is going on, everybody? Is your boy Baddog back with another New York Giants video. I will have a couple more up today, at least one more. So today I just want to talk about the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, and can Daniel Jones pull this out and actually win this? He's definitely got to have some consideration for Rookie of the Year. Obviously, there's probably other consensus favorites out there, but Daniel Jones has had a very nice year for the New York Giants. Unfortunately, the New York Giants have not had a very nice year, but a lot of these guys, as I'm going to mention, haven't really been on great teams. So I don't know how much that plays a part. And Daniel Jones has definitely probably done better than a lot of people thought he was going to do. I know he's fumbled the ball a lot. I understand he's turned it over a lot. He is a rookie. But, I mean, he has had a very nice season for the New York Giants. Now, the guy that's probably going to win it, or maybe the consensus favorite right now, is Josh Jacobs. He's had a very nice year for the Raiders. The Raiders do have an outside shot at making the playoffs. I guess if the Steelers and Titans both lose, the Raiders win, the Raiders are in. But again, he's not on a fantastic team over there with Oakland. He does have 1,150 yards on the ground, 7 touchdowns, 1,316 total yards. Obviously not a big part in the passing game, but 1,150 yards and 7 touchdowns in rookie season is great. He averages 4.8 yards a carry. He's had a really good year. This is the guy I thought was probably the best running back coming out of college last year in the draft out of Alabama. Alabama just seems to produce great running backs year after year after year after year, and Josh Jacobs is no exception. It's a really good pickup by the Raiders. I was surprised Josh Jacobs fell that far, to be honest with you. I thought maybe the Eagles would take him, before the Raiders did in that draft, because I thought they needed a running back. So Josh Jacobs has had a really nice season for them, and he probably could win Rookie of the Year. I mean, 1,150 yards is impressive for a rookie. Speaking of the Eagles, Myles Sanders, another guy that's in contention for Rookie of the Year. I didn't even realize he had this many total yards from scrimmage. He's rushed for 766 yards, and he's got 3 touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. But he also has 510 yards receiving on 47 receptions and 3 touchdowns in the backfield. So obviously he is a do-it-all type of back. He was Saquon Barkley's running mate at Penn State, so obviously they also produce really good running backs a lot too. And he might have been overlooked because of Saquon Barkley, but he's had a much better year than I thought he initially had. But the fact that he only has 766 rushing yards, perhaps that hurts him a little bit. Saquon Barkley did win this award last year. He had over 2,000 yards from scrimmage. He also had a lot more touchdowns. Myles Sanders with 6 total touchdowns. But the Eagles did a good job finding Myles Sanders because, again, I thought Josh Jacobs was going to go to them. They did need a running back, and they did find one of Myles Sanders, who is a good all-around back. He's definitely been impressive, especially the last couple of games. He's looked really good, and he will definitely be their starter going forward. I don't know exactly why he wouldn't be, with all their beat-up receivers and everything that they got going into this week, including Zach Ertz. This is a guy the Giants really going to have to try to stop. If we're going to win this game on Sunday, they got to look to stop Myles Sanders, not just running the ball, but catching it out of the backfield. So he is a lot like Saquon Barkley in that aspect. Obviously not as explosive as Saquon Barkley, but a very good running back indeed. That is definitely a guy that could have some consideration for Offensive Rookie of the Year. The next guy is Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin has had a really nice season for Washington, and again, this is a really, really bad team. Terry McLaurin's had to deal with a couple of quarterbacks, with Case Keenum and Dwayne Haskins, and, a coaching change and everything else. And through it all, he has almost 1,000 yards receiving, 919 yards receiving on 58 catches, 7 touchdowns. Had a couple of really good games. He had 3 100-yard games this year. Started off really hot, kind of got cooler as Dwayne Haskins came in there. As Dwayne Haskins was trying to adjust to the NFL, didn't really have good games. Dwayne Haskins has played a lot better the last couple weeks, and it shows because Terry McLaurin has had a couple of really nice games. I think he's had 12 catches for over 200 yards in the last 2 games. So, obviously, Terry McLaurin is in the discussion without a doubt. He's had a really good rookie season. Definitely the best rookie receiver out of that draft last year was Terry McLaurin so far. This year it's been him, so he's another guy that could have really good consideration for Rookie of the Year. To get to Daniel Jones, Daniel Jones has almost 3,000 yards passing. With a decent game against Philadelphia, he could definitely get there. He's 274 yards away. He has 23 touchdowns. And with a really good game, he could tie Baker Mayfield's rookie touchdown record. He's only played 11 games, and he's got 23 touchdowns. I know he's turned the ball over a lot. He has 11 picks. He's lost 10 fumbles. I get that. That obviously is a knock against him. The Giants are a really bad team as well. Some hidden yardage you don't see with Daniel Jones. He has 253 yards on the ground. He also has 2 rushing touchdowns. He's had 3 games where he's thrown for at least 4 touchdowns. He's had 4 games where he's accounted for 4 total touchdowns. He's really come on here at the end of the year. He's played a lot better since the middle of October. So I think that Daniel Jones is definitely in consideration for Rookie of the Year. And I think that if he has a big game against Philly and they close out Philly and win the game, If he has a game where he throws for 315 yards and 4 touchdowns and doesn't turn the ball over, he's got a really good chance to win Rookie of the Year. He definitely does. If he goes over 3,000 yards passing and ties Baker Mayfield's rookie touchdown record, he's got a really good chance because usually the quarterbacks are always favored over all these other positions as far as winning awards because they are the most important piece to the offense, without a doubt. So I don't think in the beginning of the year that anybody probably could have predicted Daniel Jones would have been in Rookie of the Year contention. We didn't know when he was going to start. We didn't know how good of a season he was going to have. And I know all the detractors will point to the fumbles, and I completely understand that. It's fair. It's a fair point. But to have 25 total touchdowns as a rookie quarterback in only 11 games and playing a really bad team, you know, where your receivers have been hurt all year, your offensive line has been bad, your best player and Saquon Barkley's been hurt most of the year, not healthy 100%. For him to do what he's done has been extra impressive. Now, I know there's a lot of people that don't like Daniel Jones, and of course that hurts you in the media because they're the ones that vote this stuff. I really don't know how they feel about it. I don't really listen to ESPN. I listened to them before the draft, and that's another reason I got really mad when we drafted Daniel Jones. But I know there's a lot of people that still want to be detractors, talk about this, talk about that, talk about, sure, he doesn't do this right, he doesn't do that right, instead of actually just pointing out the positive aspects of his game, which I think he's really good in tight window throws. I think he's very accurate. I think he's very good down the field. His arm strength is better than people thought. He's just got to learn to put the ball away. But I think Daniel Jones has played a lot better. And again, I think with a big, big game against Philadelphia and a win, this guy's got a really good chance of winning Rookie of the Year. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I always want to hear it. And like I said, I'll have another video up later today, at least one more. Until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your Friday. The weekend is upon us. It is Baddog, and I am gone. Peace!